Okay. Hi, Laura. Let's
Oh,
do your feedback session. So you should have your transcript. In fact, let me show your screen so we can all kind of watch what you're doing if okay. And I really appreciate you doing this as a newbie. This is valuable for other people as well. So what I'm going to do is make you the presenter. So something should go on your screen now.
yeah.
Okay, so click that.
You want me to show my screen?
Yep. And then we'll all watch. So that'll be part of the recording, watching what
Okay.
you're doing. Perfect. Okay, good. I see it now. And then there's the feedback there, right there. Perfect. So now you're about to do your feedback session. And in precognition, you're about to see the truth of everything. And we take this to be like the beginning of the process. We say precognition begins with the feedback session. So notice your email here says feedback for the Carve group, and then just click the link. Everything is done. If you go like one link at a time, it really becomes straightforward. So click there and we'll see what happens. And
Okay.
remember, everybody had their own um, um, coordinates and email, right? And so this now should get the feedback for you. Everybody else in the group put in their own email addresses here.
Okay.
There you go.
So click on this.
Right. It says click here for feedback. You see, you just sort of follow what it says.
Oh, that was the other picture.
That,
Oh, there are two.
right. You're going to get two of them here.
Okay.
But right now, this is the way you do feedback. Um,
Okay.
it's got nothing to do with, and then you're going to put in your feelings and the matches and all that. But this was the truth for the coordinate. And why don't you say the coordinate out loud now?
Uh,
49
7795.
5. And I remember, I think I had you say that out loud at the beginning.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Find your transcript for 49775.
Where do I go to look for that?
Well, that's your transcript. So you did it. You should have it in your possession, right? I mean, that was the transcript that you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You've got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, look at your transcript
Yeah.
and tell me the matches that you see. And you should have a different color pen out and you ought to circle them. And did you get some matches for this?
Uh, oh, forget. Um, kinda.
Okay.
So,
Tell me about them.
okay. So on the left side with the curvy wall that kind of, goes up and over.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So, so on the left side in my drawing, there's a part that starts kind of low where the forward part of the picture is, and the lower left-hand corner. And from there, it kind of goes up and over and around towards the right, kind of like that.
Okay.
Um, that wall does.
Well, that's kind of cool then, isn't it? So your
Yeah.
subconscious gave you that. Um, and give yourself a lot of credit for that. And look at what other elements on your transcript look good. That was great. And right now on there, you should be feeling good about that. You should circle it. Really work that coordinate, your 497795 coordinate, with your transcript, finding as many matches as you can. So go look at some of the other elements and say, oh, you know what? That actually matches too. And I'm sure there's some others like that in there. So take a look.
Um, well, the only other part that really resonates is a little bit on the right hand where there's a partial picture of the wall and the railing that goes around it. So there's a part on the right hand part of my drawing that has a little bit of that element.
Okay. Give yourself
on the right side.
Give yourself credit for that.
Okay.
And now we also get realistic. You'll look at some of the other elements that at first you say don't match at all. Like, give me one. Is there something else there that's just so different that obviously you didn't see it as a match here when you did your judging? Name one. Name the most prominent one.
So the steps going down and then curving to the right, and the width of them and the direction of them. There's a whole middle part of my picture that is more horizontal than vertical, and this looks more vertical to me.
Well, but I mean, if you had something that looked like steps in different orientations, the subconscious doesn't always give the orientation right. You know, it can get the geometry. So if what you just described, give yourself credit for that. Tell you, sub, thank you. You were really trying to get this one. Well, it was. I'm telling you, the best viewers, Ingo Swann, one of the best viewers ever, who passed away, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago now, was once tested, and he did something, and he sketched something, and when they showed him what it was a 7-Up can, and he thought it was terrible until he turned the sheet of paper upside down, and he had actually done 7-Up. It didn't look like it when it was upside down. So the subconscious, you know, it gets really good shapes.
Well, gee, you're having said that, so I just turned mine around, and when I turn it, this is really creepy.
Go ahead.
So I turned it around so that the page was horizontal instead of vertical. And yep, I see that same kind of movement. Yikes.
You see, your sub was really doing a good job.
Well, it never occurred to me to turn it around.
Yep. Well, now you learned something. Isn't that what this is all about?
Wow. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Now, anything else like that? Keep looking.
I don't think so.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is sometimes there's something there that on the surface looks just totally off, almost like the exact opposite. Do you have anything like that? On 497795? Okay, if you don't, that's fine. During the feedback session, because you go through all your elements, just like you're doing now, if you find one that say, boy, that one is really off, you immediately go back to the picture and go to what is right in the opposite direction. In other words, on this transcript, let's say you had said wet or water, okay? Sometimes people do that. You'd say, oh boy, that is really off. What I really want to do is get into dry. And then you get the feeling of how dry this is. And you might even do that now. This is really a dry site. And you might on your transcript write dry on it. You see, what you're doing is emphasizing for your subconscious all the things about this, because this is where the precognition starts. I'd also like you to either on this sheet, and a lot of people like to do a brand new sheet of paper. On a brand new sheet of paper, maybe, go ahead. Do you have a brand new one handy?
Yeah.
Okay, on a brand new one, put on the top feedback session. Write 497795. And now write some of the other things which you could have done. I mean, you already had a really good session, better than you thought. But now you might add things like dry. I don't know if you drew a lot of rectangles, but boy, this thing has a lot of rectangles in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Draw a whole bunch of them, multiple rectangles near each other. Just like quick sketches, the kind of thing that you wish your sub had done before, not, a tracing of it or anything like that, the kind of sketches which you might like to do next time.
So, but I'm looking at the picture that's on the computer screen, not my picture. Is that right?
Right. Now what you're doing is you're saying, I'm going to tell my sub, you know what, why don't we learn a little bit together, and I'm now showing you, when this is the feedback picture, a little more of what I'd like you to do. And there's going to be other pictures, but it's getting the idea. If there are rectangles around, draw rectangles.
Mm-hmm.
And you're getting a feeling of that, and you're sharing it with your subconscious, so that next time when you do feedback, it's going to pick it up during the remote viewing session. Though it did it this time, Laura. You did great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's it.
Okay.
You get in and notice your intent is to share. This is where it all starts, and you're sharing it backwards in time, which is what precognition is all about. And it certainly looks like you did that. I mean, that was pretty good. So at the end of the feedback, you might write end or end of session. You just finished your feedback session for this.
Okay.
Now go back down to the box and put in some words that kind of remind you about this, and, whatever you want to say. And that'll become part of the record, your record. Beautiful. More matches than I thought were actually there. Amazing. Okay, wonderful. Amazing when I turn my drawing around to horizontal and see a similar pattern that hadn't been noticed before. Wow. I'm just not sure they could read it, so that's why I said it out loud. Okay, that's wonderful. And you also saw how easy it was to do. You just click that link and do what it said. And this is the feedback session. Okay, so now you see under there it says submit FB comments, submit your feedback comments. Okay, so
how or where do I keep something so that I can get back into this to look at it, or is that not doable?
What a beautiful question. Look what it says there. If interested, here is a link to your personal stats. As your database is getting larger, be patient, for your graph and charts may take a couple of minutes. Why don't you click that and you're going to see that.
It's taking a while. It is stuck.
Well, it's interesting. It takes about a minute now.
Oh, all right.
So, and a minute just seems like a long time. Let's see. I think it is working. I see that blue line there, though I don't see it moving.
No, it's not moving at the moment.
Yeah. But maybe you have to double click it. I don't know. No, it looked like it went. So let's just be patient.
It started off.
Yeah, it did. Okay, so let's just be patient. The database is very large, and so it has to search the entire database and find your data, and then it puts together a graph and
Okay.
all the good stuff that you just asked about of me. Okay, there you go. Now go down. Since this was your first one, you're not going to have a whole lot of information. You actually got a miss, so that's why the chart there is actually at 0. So you see this was your first one.
Yeah.
Okay, here are the coordinates.
Oh, over here. Yeah.
Right. And you had predicted side 2 with the 3.5. You
Yeah.
got a miss. But notice we didn't make a big deal of that. And that's one of the keys to the feedback session. In fact, one of the things you learned is you misjudged that. You see what I'm saying?
So what constitutes misjudging?
Well, you didn't give, you gave the 3.5 to side 2.
Yeah.
But you got such a good match on it, you should have given it to side 1 where this 2 is.
Oh.
And we didn't look at the other comparison. And I don't know why that happened. You know, you did something a little different this morning, which might have thrown off the system. But let's just go forward with what you have here. It looks like, you know, you just judged the 1. But had you given the other one, the one that you judged today, the appropriate high score, like a 3.5, you might have gotten either a pass or you might have, in fact, even gotten a hit. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But it depends on the judging. But I think you would admit if you gave that a 2, that says, I thought it was just random. What we saw and what you described was a pretty darn good session.
Uh-huh.
After you rotate. But that's something you'll look for from now on.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have to get out of my literal mind, huh?
That's right. Okay, now look, well, that's exactly right. You know, you're using your intuitive mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where the record is kept.
Okay.
And notice down the second little chart, it repeats some of the stuff, but notice it wrote more matches that you see. It repeated this here in this table, but over here it put your more matches than I thought were actually there.
Yeah.
So you go back and you learn that, and this is what you wrote the first time. And if you click on this 497795, we'll actually get to see your transcript.
Ooh.
Oh no, we get to see the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, go back. Yeah, well, which is good. You have your transcript. Let me just see if there's a way. No, it doesn't look. Okay, it doesn't look like you can get your transcript, but of course you have your transcript. I do have it in the system. I could get it in principle, but I'm not going to do that now. So that's it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
You know, it looks like I think we really only did one.
Yes.
We really only did one transcript, so I don't know where this 2 came from. I think I was showing you an example, and I might have left it there. When I put it in, that might have been my fault. Okay, Laura, do you realize now you went through the entire first prediction? You learned from the feedback, and I think you understand now why we say precognition begins with the feedback session, because that's where you learn, and that goes on forever. I don't care, you know, people that have been in this for 20 years, they still learn from their feedback sessions because they can always improve some aspect of it. And that's the point, you know, that keeps you engaged. It keeps you getting better and better at it.
So what do you do during the conference?
We are going to teach people again how to do this, and we're going to be doing 6 full predictions with 6 opportunities to wager if you want to. So that's sort of a lot of fun for a lot of people, though some people don't wager. They just like doing the remote viewing, and 6 feedback sessions. And
So,
there,
so do I need to bring my computer?
no. There, you'll be doing your sessions there, and everybody there will actually have the same picture. So you'll be able to see other people's transcripts for the same target that you've been working on. And you're all going to share what you got, all do feedback sessions together, which I think is going to be very powerful to give us, a very nice history for the 6 predictions that we do there.
So so how does that get uploaded, or doesn't it?
No, that one doesn't.
Oh.
So there's not the same kind of record. I don't do it on the computer. It's done in a very similar fashion, but with so many people all in one place, we do it in more of the workshop mode, which is a little bit more like when I have these classes on Wednesdays, and I do it here. Everybody gets the same picture, but it doesn't get saved on an individual basis.
I see. So you send out a new target coordinate every week?
Yep. In fact, I'm going to send one out later today, which I'll hope you will pick up just by clicking on the tasking and go step by step, Laura. And
okay. So the one I did this morning, I guess, was from last week.
Yeah, you right. You exactly. You just picked up a different coordinate and everything. Do not do that one. Wait for the tasking that will come later today.
Okay.
And have fun.
Okay.
Okay, so are there any other kind of questions?
Don't think so.
Okay, and look, if you do have problems, just email me, and I'll take care of it. But you can already see after you go through the whole process once, it becomes pretty straightforward, and you may have more questions, and then you do it the second time, and then pretty soon you get to put all of your focus on doing the precognition, because the protocol.
So when you do feedback sessions like in this group format, who's doing the feedback? You or
the target? Just like you had the target in front of you here, it'll be on a big screen, and so everybody has the same target. So they'll all be seeing it on a big screen. They'll be doing it, and then we'll be able to discuss the matches they got, and you're going to be so surprised how different people will get different parts of the same picture. And it's just so interesting to see how that happens.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. So I sent you and Jane an email, and first apologizing for missing your birthday. I kept all the cards.
That's okay, Laura. I think I'll turn off the recording now and we can chat.
Oh.
Okay.